Hello and welcome to Mag Podcast, November the 15th, 2019. This week we're going to be talking to Ultra Galaxy Eyes about her art and what she's done and how she started. And then we're going to go with all the news what's been happening over the last 2 weeks. So, without further ado, let's get on with this, shall we? Yes, so welcome to the episode. If you've not already heard, we have a new little a jingle, or intro you could call it. Thanks to YouTube for letting me use it, really, I think. Yeah, YouTube is from the YouTube site, so come on. But let's go up on that, enough about that. Let's start off by saying we have an absolute packed show with you this week. We've got a lot of things to do, including the interview and all the news that's going to be coming out for the last 2 weeks. But before that, we're just going to say a quick shout out to lovely people over at Bad Fish Merch and Geek Erie for supporting the show and, just being awesome supporters of the show. So, without further ado, I'll let them explain what they do.
Have you ever thought that should be on a t-shirt? Well, now it can. At Badfish Studio, we create one-of-a-kind t-shirts, hoodies and more from just £15. Get a favourite slogan, awesome picture or anything in between and wear it around town. It's less commitment than a tattoo.
We can do full colour images or bold colour vinyl, including metallic, leather and carbon fibre look, glow in the dark, reflective and even rainbow or glitter for all you snazzy unicorns out there.
Because we love you, the podcast community, we want to give you 10% off your order by using the code MAG1. Oh, and if you are content creators, we have free merchandise options that will help you start making money from your labour of love.
So shoot us a message on Facebook at Badfish Merch, Instagram at Badfish Studio, or fill in the form at www.badfishmerch.com. Badfish Studio. Be unique, be badfish.
Come check out Geek Erie podcast. While an Irish person and 2 English co-hosts talk about anime and the convention highlights of what's happening around us on an international basis. Sick of hearing about Gamergate? Sick about your favorite anime being called as a Nazi propaganda? Why not check out Geek Erie podcast? We have news, interviews, and convention highlights. So check us out wherever you can find a podcast, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, or Spotify.
So I want to say thank you for the people over at Bad Fish Merch for taking the time to make a little advertisement for us. If you want to use their code, it is MAG1. You can use anything from their store with that code. It helps us out, it helps the show out, and it's all a win-win. If you guys want to support, go over to Geek Erie. There's a lot more chatter there about anime stuff that's more than we ever could do. So you can go there, it supports them, it supports us. It's all a win-win for everybody. So, with that said, let's get up with the interview. This week we've got an interview with Ultra Galaxy Eyes, who's a artist. And so yeah, I'll let her explain more than what we do. So, without further ado, let's get on with this interview. So I'm here with, if you could say hello and explain who you are.
I'm Nash, also known as Ultra Galaxy Eyes on my social media handles. I do art. I'm hoping to pursue a career in illustration, basically.
Cool. Could you give the listeners an idea of what it is you draw?
So I mainly draw things inspired by fantasy. I love surrealism, so I draw in elements from both to create, imaginative pieces, mostly. Occasionally I'll be intrigued by animals, so there's a few of those. Majority of my paintings are traditional rather than digital, but I do both. Digital and traditional paintings. Yeah.
It's good to work in both, isn't it, really, just in case?
Yeah, I mean, you get experience in both, and you learn what you love, and it's a good way to explore your creative talents and abilities and just growth,
So what or who inspired you to draw in the first place?
Actually, there's a story behind that. it was when I got my first sketchbook. My best friend in high school inspired me to draw. I always saw them drawing, and I was a bored kid. I wanted to draw too, so we went on a school trip one day, and we bought my first sketchbook, and ever since then I've kept every sketchbook, and I'm on sketchbook 18, I believe.
I'm not sure if you've seen My Hero Academia.
I have seen a few episodes, yes.
Okay, it has that same sort of thing where he keeps, like, every time he sees a hero, he will write it in a notepad, and I think he was up to like 7 or 8 sort of thing. So it's kind of like a thing, isn't it? We just like, you see something or you find something and just keeps writing.
Yeah,
or drawing.
it's all worth recording, I think, because then you can look back on it. You can always look back on it, and it makes you proud of yourself.
Or cringe if you weren't happy with
it. Yeah, but I mean, if you're cringing at your past, that means you've gotten better now.
Okay, yeah. I was looking. I was looking back through an old episode from a project I did before, and I was like, God, I sounded so bad.
Yeah, that's why I deleted my old DeviantArt.
In a second, my phone's decided to play up, so I'm reading all my questions off that. What's been the most difficult to draw, and what's been the most fun?
As much as I enjoy fantasy, I also love sci-fi. I love robots. I love little details, and drawing things like robots, because I love Transformers. That just always resonated with me for some reason. Even my brothers don't like it, but I'm just weird. But those were quite difficult to draw. I just got into drawing robots and those little pieces, and it had to make sense because they all had to work together. Because animals and humans, they have imperfections, but robots have pieces.
Yeah,
so
in Transformers, it's a case of, isn't it, like if you want pieces out of place, you couldn't really transform to.
Yeah.
Couldn't you really? Go on. Sorry.
I was just gonna say kudos to the comic artist, because you have to be consistent.
I must ask, you said you were a fan of Transformers. Yes. What do you think of the Michael Bay films? Because. I remember seeing like the first one with my brothers, and then I actually saw the 5th one in cinemas with my family. I say I did enjoy the first one. I feel like it had like a good, I liked it, but I didn't like the focus. Like, a lot of people have this criticism, the focus on humans, because I came to see giant robots. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think with the new Bumblebee, I thought that was nice. They added more characterization. Like, they are characters at the end of the day. They're not just robots.
Yeah. I haven't actually seen Bumblebee, and actually, I don't know. I think, me personally, I was kind of just, after the second one, I kind of just dropped it and went done with it, because it was just so over the top for me. I was just like, I can't keep up with what's going on now. What's going on? So I just threw my hands up and just went, right, that's it. I'm out.
Yeah, I had the same sort of criticisms with the 5th movie as I did with Suicide Squad. Like, it just didn't, like, the whole like Merlin thing, like the whole magic thing with the whole non-magic thing, it just clashed for me.
Okay. Because I enjoyed Suicide Squad. I think, I don't know, I mean, I was like, I enjoyed it, but not as much as I could. Because I think, like, I mean, if I remember rightly, said you were going to go and see the Joker film.
I did see it.
There's a different theme to that, isn't it, than Suicide Squad, which is a lot more darker, I say, because it's that term.
Yeah, because it feels more real. Like, everything's set in a more real place. Like, you can kind of detach yourself with Suicide Squad. You can remember it's not real.
But then with Joker, it's like, oh no, this is actually real.
Yeah, because like these things happen. These things can happen.
I'm not gonna. I've just written my review for the film now, and it's on my site. So I'm less to talk about that, the better, sort of thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy doing reviews of things. Like when I watch a movie, I'll make a post about it. But I don't appreciate people who do. My brother has a friend always spoils things. He's awful.
Yeah, I've got a few. Well, not my a friend of mine. He always goes watch a film, or he'll go and he wants to go and watch, say, let's say Avengers film, and we can't go on the day of release because of scheduling. And I say to him every time, I say, don't go on Tumblr, don't go on Twitter, and don't go on Twitch, because the second you get on there, you'll get spoiled because of nature. And I'm just like, he does it every time. He'll go on the site and he'll text me 2 days later going, I know what happens. I was like, well, you're an idiot.
Yeah, you're ruining it for yourself and others.
Yeah. So it's people do that are just asses, basically, in my books.
Definitely.
I got kind of a bit off topic then, didn't they, for a second?
Yeah, I mean, impassioned speech.
Yeah. Just trying to find where I want. Right, okay. What styles would you say your drawing is? Do you have like a style that you do, or is it kind of anything goes?
Well, you know, that comes along with being like having the development of an artist. You know, you got to experiment. So, like, I've been experimenting with painting recently, but I want to go into illustration. I love me some line work. And that kind of comes along with digital. Like, I probably wouldn't have liked line work as much as I do now if I didn't do digital work. You know, things like comic books. I love comic books. I have a collection. And I collect art books. And I guess it depends on what medium you're using.
Right.
But I love like the Art Nouveau kind of style. I love kind of illustrative styles. I love surrealist styles. So it depends on what mood I'm setting, really, the piece.
I'd say, like, do you think there's a difference between the way a comic book artist would draw, say, to a, quote, air brackets, professional artist would draw?
I think so, because like if you're doing one piece, you're doing one piece for one thing. You don't have to be consistent. You don't have to, you know, have these little reminders in your head to say, oh, I need to do this because I did this before. If you're doing an art piece just once, then anything goes. You can, you know, flip it around and add this color, take it away. It's really just like one journey, but a comic book is multiple journeys.
Are there any characters that if you were doing your own comic book or doing a comic book, is there any characters you'd like to do?
Would these be like my own characters or like existing characters?
I'd say existing, and then if you want to add, you can add the other one afterwards.
Existing characters. Let's see. I'd say, as I said, I love Transformers. I'd probably, I love Cyclonus. He's my favorite character. You know, he's pretty popular. Not very mainstream, but he deserves a lot of love, I think. And then probably, I mean, I quite like Black Panther's profile, so.
Okay.
You know, characters like that, I think.
Oh, okay. A little bit under the radar sort of thing, and needs to get with some love.
Yeah,
sort of.
I love things fleshed out. I love story. So, and I don't like it when it's all just given to me. Like it's kind of like when you fill up a cup too full.
Right. You want a bit room. You want some room to breathe so that you can.
I want to imagine the character as something of my own.
So you can imagine character there just sitting with a cup of tea with yourself and.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think's so great about things like D&D. Like I love my D&D character. I would love to make a comic of my D&D campaign.
It really should though. I mean, like if it's something that's you're passionate about, then you really should then, because just. You put all that time and effort into making it. You might as well just make the picture for it.
I started sketching out those characters, but you know, campaigns take a while.
That's true. I'm trying to find the last one questions now. If somebody is here's this now, and what advice would you give them to start drawing or painting or something along those lines?
Well, get a sketchbook. That's how I started. Having a book of your progress really encourages you. And it encourages you to draw more often as well, because a book, you can carry around a book. And then you just learn the things you like. Like, maybe you start off with pencil, and then you're like, wait, I like mechanical pencils more. And then you're like, wait, I like color more. Maybe I'll try watercolor. And then you just start to enjoy things, and you start building up a sort of an arsenal of supplies that you can work with. And you realize you've invested time, you've invested effort, you've invested money, and it becomes something more. And over this time and this practice, you'll see development and you'll see progress. And I think that initial first sketch in a sketchbook, that first page, is important, really.
That's pretty cool, actually. I think if I remember rightly, we met at Alicon this year briefly.
Yes.
Are you planning on attending any other comic conventions coming up in this year or maybe next year?
Probably next year. Pretty busy for the rest of the year, but next year I think I'll have worked on some new stuff by then, so I should have some even better, even more interesting things for people to look at
and buy, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Gotta make a living.
Yeah, I mean, can't line your pockets with art.
Yeah. So I'll let you have this one. Last one is, if people want to follow you, how would they do that?
Well, I'm always available via, my Instagram and my Tumblr, and if people want to reach me personally, then by email. I'm open to people asking questions or for a chat, and I love people looking at my stuff if you're interested in it. And I'm quite everything's public on social media because that's where I share my art.
Well, I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time to be interviewed. I know you're probably busy doing whatever project you're doing next. So yeah, I'll put all the links to your stuff down in the description of the video, and hope to catch you at a convention soon.
Yeah, thank you for the time.
Okay, right,
Yep.
I'll end it there. I just want to say thanks very much again. What I'll do is I'll email you the edited version, so it'll just be cutting the start and the finish off.
Yeah.
And then if you're happy with that, then I'll post it on the end of November. No, hold on.
15th, you said?
Yeah, 15th of November. Yeah. Sorry, I've got so many images. I'm trying to keep track of who's doing what.
Same. To be honest, dates, important
It's
dates, and times. Awful.
Yeah.
Need a
All
calendar.
right. Well, yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
So I just want to say thank you very much to Ultra Galaxy Eyes for taking the time to be interviewed. I know she's probably very busy, so it's very much appreciated. If you guys want to check out her stuff, links as always are in the description. You can check out her Instagram page, her Tumblr page, and yeah, that's really it. So we're going to switch things gears a bit now, and we're going to go over to the news. So we're going to talk about stuff that's been happening over the last 2 weeks, and then I'll give a nice intro. So without further ado, here's the news. So yeah, first off, we're going to speak about movie news, and really we've got quite a bit to go through, so let's just jump in, shall we? Will Smith kind of put on his YouTube page, as well as a few others, hit the trailer for Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's reunion of Bad Boys. I think it's Bad Boys 3, but it's called Bad Boys for Life, which is so I don't know. But yeah, it's a Bad Boys film. It's gonna be stupid fun explosions coming out of left and right. So you know what, I think I probably will go and see it, because just of how over the top it is in that kind of way. It's just like, oh yeah, okay, well, you can just switch your brain off. You don't have to sit down and be deep about it. It's going to be one of those films. I probably will just watch it. I'll catch some reviews of it. But yeah, switching gears a little bit, Disney have released a trailer for the new Pixar movie, which is called Soul. If you've read the reviews on the site, you should know that I am a kind of a sucker for music based films. So yeah, I'm definitely going to watch this one, and it's made by Pixar as well. It's literally, how can I just say no? So I'm going to go and watch that. Also as well, is literally, as I was about to record this episode, the new Sonic trailer just dropped, the updated version I should say, and yeah, it looks a lot better. I do worry a little bit because they showed the bad version first, maybe? But we'll see what happens. I will definitely go and see this now, because Sonic looks like Sonic and not look like a weird humanoid, half human, half hedgehog monstrosity thing. But I will definitely go and see it, and it looks kind of funny as well. So yeah, that's a lot better than it was before. So yay, they finally listened to us, and that's cool. So I'll definitely go and see this. I know a few people who would be interested in going to see it, so it'd be good to see. It's good to see. Switching gears a bit to video game news, we've got, if you've been living under a rock for the last few weeks, you would have not known that Death Stranding is out. That's the Hideo Kojima game under his new studio. And the reviews are mixed. Some people are giving it like a sort of a 6 out of 10 to 5 to 8 to all over the places. I have not played it myself. I would like to play it, but I think at the moment I am just going to see what the reviews are sort of saying, and actually reading the articles, not just going on the basis. From my understanding is some of them don't get it, some of them think it's a walking simulator, some people are just confused, but that's a Hideo Kojima game. You're supposed to be confused in a kind of weird way. So yeah, I'll change gears now a bit to Pokemon Company are actually announcing more details on the upcoming Sword and Shield, so that'll be interesting to see. I'm not sure when that'll come out. I think it comes out next week, so that'll be interesting to watch and see what sort of reaction. Seems some Pokemon are not in it, from my understanding, so we'll see. But yeah, it looks interesting. I know a few people who have definitely been getting that, so hopefully I might be able to have a go. We shall see. Guardians of the Galactic Empire is getting a dub. Yes, we're switching over to anime news here. I don't know much about this. I just saw the headline, read a little bit, and went, okay, that's interesting to read. So we'll see what happens with that. I think it might be tied into the next story, which is High Dive. It's a new streaming service, I think you could call it. I don't know if they've been going, but it's new to me as what I've heard. And oh boy, did they literally drop a half-an-hour trailer on what they have, and they have a lot to go through. I mean, they have, as the aforementioned Guardians of the Galactic Empire, I think it's called that. But it's really old and it's really prestigious, but the best anime ever. Whatever. They have Made in Abyss, some rock idol series. I didn't catch the name of it. I will have to double check my sources, but it looks interesting. They have Initial D 2, I think it is, and they have something called Anonymous Noise. But again, that's a music-based one, so I'm going to be super into it, obviously. But yeah, it's the stuff they've got out on that High Dive system is absolutely crazy. I mean, it was a half-an-hour trailer showing off what they have. Not everything, but, you know, props to them. They're coming into this game, you know, amazingly well. So give credit. I hope they do well. I hope they actually do well and strive, and not just flounder as a third best sort of anime streaming service. Well, fourth now, really. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Kudos to them, and I'll give them all the props I can. Switching gears over to convention news. FanFest and I think Walker Stalker, but I don't know if they're into line. But FanFest is being forced into liquidation. Basically, the UK government is going, you're conning people, stop trading, which is perfectly fine. If you guys bought a ticket to any of these events, please cancel them if you can. Check if they're still going and cancel it, because they are a con company. No pun intended. They're con artists. They're not there to make events, they're meant just to get money out of you. So if you are going to a FanFest event, check them out, see if they can maybe get your money back. If you can't, then I think there's some sort of way you could do it. I hope so too. Same thing in Walker Stalker. If you are not 100% sure about the legality of it, and if it is actually happening, check with the venue, check everything you can, and if you can't, then get your money out of there, because they're not good. Okay, enough about bad conventions. I'm going to switch over to a good convention. I am going to go to Wales Comic Con in Telford. This is on the 7th and 8th of December. So yeah, I'll be going down there. I'll be recording whoever wants to be recorded, basically cosplayers, anybody that I think, ooh, that'd be cool. So if you see me walking around, I will post a picture on my social medias of the t-shirt I'll be wearing and what I look like. So yeah, I'll be able to see what I look like then, and then you guys can have a chat, sit back, relax, and enjoy the good day. Yeah. Also, as well, I'll be bringing back updates to the convention side of the site. So what I mean by that is normally I'd post the events that are coming up in the next few weeks. I have been slowly just bringing that back, but I've been trying to sort myself out and get that sorted as well. So yeah, hopefully that'll be coming back. So if you guys check the site, you'll be able to check on the conventions that are coming up in the country. Okay. I've talked a lot today, but also as well is if you guys are playing a game or watching a movie or an anime or attending a convention and you want to write about it, drop us an email, drop us a Facebook message, drop us a whatever with what the event you're writing about, and we'll discuss that, and you'll be able to post the actual article or your review on the site. So yeah, so cool. Links as always in our description to everything I talk about today. So yeah, the next episode will be on the 30th of November. We'll have an interview with Ivar Cosplayer, who's a cosplayer, and then you can go and check that stuff out. So yeah, hope to see you all guys at the end of the month, and have a great day and week. So hope to see you guys there. Bye.